into the action. Turn up locks down on defense to hold on to a 5-point lead at the half.
Here we go to start the second half. It's 38-33.
On defense to hold
after
on
the
to
break,
a 5-point lead at the rim.
Even if he's coming off the bench, final seconds here, the third.
D'Angelo, you're having a phenomenal season, but I have to ask, you're watching two players compete for $250,000. What do you think's going through their heads right now?
It's a lot of pressure. A lot of money for best out of three. I bring your A game, so it's exciting.
Right now, you're obviously a 2K player right now. I have to ask you, any player, any era, who's your starting five for your mind team if you're constructing and have access to all of them? You're obviously a 2K player right now.
I'm going MJ for sure. KD, I might go Shaq. I'm going to go myself. I don't care what y'all say. I'm going myself. I'm going MJ.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
I'm going to go myself. I don't care what y'all say. I'm going myself. I'm going MJ.
Welcome, everybody, to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Very happy to be here with Kenny the Jet Smith, and relatively happy to be here with Shaq. The action tonight will be live from Salt Lake City as the Utah Jazz play against the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers with some momentum in their favor. The game tonight marks their second of 4 meetings they will play this season, and they come into this one feeling pretty good after winning the last time they met. And a
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
It's a Western Conference matchup as the Los Angeles Lakers come into town in this game. And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sideline.
Thanks very much.
Teaching and motivated. He's done a nice job, DA. Thanks. And right around this time of the year, some teams spending long stretches on the road. Chris, that's difficult. It's got to be tough, I would assume, for players to deal with that, teams to deal with that.
It does get tough. Long road trips, travel, staying home from your family. You haven't seen your family and your friends, but I tell you what it does as a team. Coaches love it because it builds camaraderie, it builds chemistry. Now you have time to go to the movies and hang out with guys on your team at a restaurant or just hanging out. And what does that do? It brings you a little bit closer together because now you're building a relationship that's not based on basketball. These long road trips allow you to be together, to get to understand and know each other in ways maybe you haven't before. And believe me, it's been many times on the court. I've joked with the guy on my team about something that had nothing to do with the game, and it brought us to even play harder because we had an inside joke about something else. Who wouldn't want to play with their friends, right? Who wouldn't want their friends to challenge them? And that's the type of relationships you build on these long road trips.
Here are the starters for Los Angeles. LeBron and Kuzma make up the forwards. Rajon Rondo is out there with Mr. Fundamentals, and it's McGee in at the center filling out the middle. And there's the pass to Mr. Fundamentals. LeBron against Crowder. Shot clock at 5. And it's LeBron missing. So it's Rubio bringing it up for the Utah Jazz. Outside Crowder. And Favors kicks to Mitchell. Sinks the three-pointer. Mitchell's got his first 3 points of the game.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Here's Mr. Fundamentals. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
And that's how you answer back.
Trading bombs the last 2 possessions. They're going that way.
Rubio, the pass to Mitchell. Gobert in the corner. From outside, off the mark.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Passes it to Mr. Fundamentals. To the inside. And stolen by Favors. Rondo against Rubio. Kicks it to Crowder. Pass to Mitchell from past the arc. Doesn't go for him. And it's the Lakers the other way. For 3. And another 3 for the Lakers.
Excellent court awareness. James has always had terrific instincts as a playmaker.
Jazz trail by 4. And isn't it amazing how overnight the Lakers went from a rebuilding team to a contending team now with LeBron?
You know, whatever team LeBron has been on has always been a threat to make the finals. Magic Johnson knows that. He was always a threat to make the finals. 9 for him, 8 for LeBron. I mean, the Lakers recognize and know that they have a 4-year window with LeBron now. Titles are a standard for Magic Johnson and the Lakers, and their commitment to bringing LeBron in shows that.
Mitchell with it, now guarded by Mr. Fundamentals. 6 on the shot clock. Mitchell outside. Offensive rebound. Can't hit from in close. Lakers leading by 4. Mr. Fundamentals. Nice passing here by Los Angeles. And again, it's the Lakers from deep.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Well, it was the Los Angeles Lakers winning their last game against the Detroit Pistons.
You're going to win a lot of games when you can shoot the 3-ball the way they did in that one.
Oh, yeah. Once they started hitting, it was like an avalanche, even as the defense extended farther and farther out.
Rubio outside. 52 seconds left in the first quarter. Back to Mitchell. Looking for Favors. He gets it there. Over Rondo. And Favors gets it to go in on the assist by Mitchell.
I mean, he's out there on an island all by himself. I mean, good job to stay cool and train.
LeBron passes to Mr. Fundamentals. He kicks it to McGee. And the rejection by Favors. And he's able to get it back. Rondo's shot is good.
The defense is in disbelief here. Triple after triple.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Rubio finds Favors. Mitchell outside. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
Defense is doing just enough to bother him on the jump.
And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
That just shows you can do everything right sometimes, but still get the wrong result.
And so it's Los Angeles in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. They have made it very tough to get a shot off against them. Their defense has been stifling. And we'll be right back after this. Now you see a lot of players who pick up the controller and fire up NBA 2K, thank goodness, including the king himself, LeBron James.
I play 2K all the time. Seriously, when I'm playing the game, I'm
always experimenting. And so it's LeBron James making Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this. With a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. What can you say, LeBron James? What an impressive effort today.
Yeah, and sometimes you find yourself in a role you're not comfortable with, but his passing in the first half really was impressive.
Yeah, some of it is based on how the defense is playing. He didn't force things. Instead, he rewarded his teammates.
Starting off the second half, here's Luke Walton's 5. Inside, we've got Kuzma and McGee. Mr. Fundamentals is out there with Rajon Rondo, and it's James in at the 3. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Hi, guys. Mr. Fundamentals, in their last game against the Pistons, had a huge game. He scored 23 points, and he got those points as he always does, knocking down shots from beyond the arc. A truly dominating performance from him. Hopefully a sign of more great things to come. Evan?
David, appreciate the report. He was a one-man show in that game.
And, you know, it'll be interesting to see how much that took out of him. I mean, he'll have a hard time putting up anything even close to those numbers here tonight.
I mean, well, it should have taken all the energy out of him. It should have taken something out of him, Greg. I mean, he pushed the envelope in every way that night. He was unreal.
And Ricky Rubio might be one of the most unselfish players in the league. Not only for his passing and how much he enjoys piling up assists, but how he does a great job adjusting to what the team needs him to do and not worrying about his own game.
And it's Rubio with the ball for Utah. They trail by 16. They'll be playing host to Chicago for their next game. And that'll be the third of the 4 straight at home. And favors kicks to Mitchell. Crowder, the pass to Rubio. From deep. But they recover it. Second chance shot. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Rubio's got 6 points. And for Rubio, who has been in the eye of the media for so long, Greg, he's always been unselfish. We've always seen that in his style of play.
You're right, Kevin. You've always been able to see that with Rubio's game. Great at making quick reads, seeing passes before they develop. I mean, he can see who's open and who's going to be open before he even catches the pass.
And the shot goes down. Rubio's got 4 points in the quarter.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Here's Mr. Fundamentals, covered by Mitchell. Mr. Fundamentals passes to Rondo. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. Here's Mr. Fundamentals, and another basket for the Lakers.
That lead's only going to keep growing if he keeps shooting it like he has so far.
Utah calls timeout. Chris, when you were playing, you moved between a couple teams. What's the hardest part about getting traded that fans may not understand?
One is your ego. You don't want to usually leave. If you didn't ask for a trade, you don't want to leave that town, that city, the fans, or the players that have become friends. If you happen to be a parent, think about it. Your kids may be switching schools in the middle of
The free throw drops for Gobert.
Well, Rudy Gobert has taken on more of a leadership role with this team. Clearly a difference maker on the court with his defense, and will get the team to fall in line. Hard to argue with one of the elite rim protectors in our league.
Favors and Gobert, the tough pair inside. Rubio teams up with Mitchell in the backcourt. And it's Cephalosha in at the 3 slot. That's the group right now for Utah. Gobert, the pass to Mitchell. It's good. And with Gobert, he does so much as a defender with his impact break in the paint.
Yeah, and Gobert does so much in terms of cleaning up his teammates' mistakes while they're defending out there on the perimeter. It allows his teammates to be more aggressive on D, knowing he's going to be that last line of defense. And Gobert won't let them get too comfortable, as he is one of the more vocal players in terms of shaping their D.
And the way James dominates on the offensive end, making it look effortless tonight.
Jazz trail by 19. Rubio finds Favors. Mitchell right side. Rebounded by McGee. McGee's got 6 rebounds in the game.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Good at taking initiative inside. Once Kuzma is near the hoop, he's focused on scoring.
Pass to Gobert. Mitchell outside. Back to Gobert. Mitchell in the corner. Gets the 3-pointer to fall. Mitchell's got 5 points now in the quarter.
They lean on him for a big portion of their scoring with a good reason.
LeBron passes to Mr. Fundamentals. Wants to get it to Rondo and Doug. And the slam dunk by McGee.
Yeah, you got to respect the awareness level of Rondo. When his teammates have a clean look at the basket, the ball gets there without hesitation.
And that Unleash Chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Hover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. Lakers leading by 20. There's the pass to Mr. Fundamentals. No good on the triple.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Cephalosha misses. LA's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the 4th. Rondo passes to Kuzma. Kicks it to McGee. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. And the 3-ball is good.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Los Angeles.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, but an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And now on the year, this will take them to 28 wins.
And as we get set to put this one to bed, a one-sided season series thus far, they've won 2 straight.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for LeBron.
Just the scoring alone. I mean, it's a fantastic game for him. He was just going over, around, through the defense, I mean, all day long.
First one falls for him. So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game.
Stuff out there. AI.
Yeah.
Media can't wait to hear from you. Meet me in the press conference room, all right?
I'm going to change to be right there.
All right. Go get him.
Hey, thanks, Charlie. Big win for you guys tonight. Do you feel like you can even learn anything in a game where the score is so lopsided?
Learn anything? Man, I don't know. All I can tell you is that we crushed them. Crushed them! I mean, woo! Man, this team is legit, man. You know what I'm saying? We got the big win tonight. Big win. Next question. We good then? Okay, thanks.
Thanks, AI.
How's it going?
All right, AI, let's get everyone over here and get started. Here's what we're going to do. Really, AI? Get your mind right. Man, I can't even watch this. Just like that. Doesn't get any better than that. Hey, see you later, man. All right, AI, let's get everyone over here and get started. Here's what we're going to do. right, AI. I see you want to work on your three-point shooting. Let's get set up.
Come on, AI, focus. Guys, come on. Hey, see you later, man.
All right, AI, let's get to work. Here's what we're going to do.
Poetry in motion, AI. One more. Yeah, let's go, let's do it! Nicely done, AI. Way to go.
Hey, hit me up.
If you don't love that, you don't love NBA 2K basketball. What a game one we just saw. A 9-point deficit erased from Skip to Mylou, who goes on to win the game. That was insane. So now, let's jump to your top plays.
It's that time. I'm the 2K MC coming at you with your 2K TV Wow top plays of the week. You submit the plays, you watch the plays, and you choose the winners. Up first, it's Max, flexing with Pink Diamond Brandon Roy. Turns the Euro step into a between-the-legs dunk, making it look way too easy on that velvety smooth move. Next, it's Elijah Dream in triple threat. Working with Diamond Agent Zero, spinning and handing it off for the between-the-legs stuff. Dismantling the defense with that mastery on the sticks. Now it's Isaiah Jackson with the ridiculous.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here. Shaq's here. Kenny's here. Welcome to this edition of 2K Sports.
I come from a city of sorrow, ugly introduction. Growing up, it wasn't so. Remember all we had was hope. All we did was soap. There was no soap. I call all the fire drivers. Ask why I had to go. But also ask if I could see what she really wants to do. I've been stepped on, cursed over. I've been.
We have an interconference affair lined up for you today as the Cleveland Cavaliers come in for this one. Sit back and enjoy this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along courtside with Brent Barry and Greg Anthony. We've got David Aldridge on our sideline. The last time these two teams met, it was the Cleveland Cavaliers who came away with the W against the Los Angeles Lakers.
And in the last face-off against these guys, they enjoyed a huge advantage in free throw percentage.
You can see it all over the league. Injuries, Brent, beginning to affect some teams, but it's hard to pay your stars and maintain a deep bench all under the salary cap. It's a very difficult dance to do.
This is why sitting next to you as a broadcaster is a really less stressful thing to do, rather than be a general manager in the league.
Yeah.
So hard to make.
But you could be a general manager in this league.
Maybe at some point, Kevin, but right now I'm enjoying this seat with you. And I'm wondering how it is that some of these teams can get creative with cap analytics guys and their strategy, how much they want to press forward, given some of the restrictions of what you can do with your roster. But we know the more players you have that can step in and be ready, these deeper teams during the regular season usually pile up a few more wins than those that don't have that approach.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court for Cleveland, the forwards are Osman and Love. Clarkson is out there with Sexton, and it's Thompson in at the 5. And the dunk by Love.
Well, if Kevin Love gets that deep and has that kind of room, he's going to make sure of it with the jam.
For the Cleveland Cavaliers, their last game a loss to Houston.
Yeah, and in a hostile environment, they did not rise to the occasion, especially on the defensive side.
Yeah, it felt like they were teenagers during the summer. Low levels of activity, allowed too many good looks. Just not their night.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. I was able to talk with the head coach of the Cavaliers. The one point of emphasis was this is a fast team that they're playing. Their goal is to try and force them into the half court and not to let them run in transition. We'll see if it's successful, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And here's Rondo following the 3 from Mr. Fundamentals. James, the pass to Kuzma. Fades back. A nice shot by LeBron. James has got his first 2 points of the night.
I mean, again, LeBron James has been doing this for so long, knocking down that mid-range jumper.
The pass to Sexton. That falls. Great assist by Love. Sexton's got his second bucket of the night.
A guy who converts well at the rim, you like to see the aggression there.
Yeah, it's the first quarter, and he's already in attack mode, setting the tone right here.
Now, here's Kuzma. A look at his stance.
Sure, that was not a part of the game plan.
Sexton with it. He's covered by Rondo. Sexton kicks to Love. Shot clock at 5. Here's Osman. He's covered by Rondo.
Just wondering why the defense is laying off. Luckily, they didn't pay for their mistake.
Kuzma can't get it to go.
No doubt disappointed with that one. He'd love to have that one back.
Yeah, I'd put that play on repeat. The setup was perfect. Just need a better result next time.
Now, here's Sexton. 14 points from him the last game against the Rockets in Houston.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Los Angeles shooting their first free throw of the game right now. Big group substitution here for the Lakers. Zubac is checked in for JaVale McGee. Beasley comes in for Kyle Kuzma. Harris is checked in for James. And it's Lonzo Ball in for Rajon Rondo. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. John Henson's checked in for Tristan Thompson. Nance comes in for Kevin Love. Hood's checked in for Jetty Osman. And Smith subbed in for Jordan Clarkson. Lakers leading by 3. And Colin Sexton, when it comes to scoring, the man shows you a little bit of everything.
Loves to drive it, loves to attack inside, improving his consistency from range. But what I love about him is the aggressiveness. This guy is always in attack mode.
This is the kind of guy that you wake up in a cold sweat the night before you play him. Just a matchup nightmare. Tricky, confident, and he takes on all comers.
Now here's Hood. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. Out to the right wing. And stolen by Hood. There's 38 seconds left here in the first quarter. Sexton dishes to Hood. Shoots. And he connects with the jumper.
You see the shot mechanics from Rodney Hood. They're not all that bad. A balanced shooter, especially when spotted up.
Pass to Mr. Fundamentals. Now Zubac, by Hood. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. A three-pointer off the mark. Hood on the wing. And he lays it straight in. Hood's got his second bucket.
Rodney Hood with some ball control there. It's clear that he can take some chances from time to time.
Passes it to Mr. Fundamentals. With 1 on the clock, we'll get right back to the action when we return. LeBron James is the all-time leader in playoff field goals made, and he had this to say about his ability to nail clutch shots.
I always feel like I got it. I always feel.
And you know, Greg, that's the time. And the Lakers with some changes. Kyle Kuzma's checked in for Beasley. James comes in for Brandon Ingram. And Mr. Fundamentals subbed in for Harris. A switch here also for Cleveland. Clarkson, he's checked in for J.R. Smith. And that one good from Clarkson.
Well, Clarkson doing his best to keep that mid-range jump shot from dying off.
LeBron and Kuzma make up the forwards. Lonzo Ball out there with Mr. Fundamentals. And it's Zubac in at the center, locking down the middle. That's the Laker 5. Sexton the pass to Henson. There's 45 seconds left in the second quarter. And the jam by Larry Nance.
So fun to watch Larry Nance Jr. get up and be in flight.
Over to the wing. There's the pass to Mr. Fundamentals. James left side. Out left to the wing. Mr. Fundamentals. Out of bounds. Cleveland takes possession. 24 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Sexton with it. He's got 6. 11 seconds left to play here in the half. Kicks it to Henson. Just 5 to shoot. It's good. This game is all even. Clarkson's got his second basket of the night.
Well, got into the paint and then smelled that he was around the rim and got it done.
It's all tied here in Los Angeles. Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Mr. Fundamentals really making a difference here.
Scoring consistently from range. He really lit it up there in the first half.
We'll see if they keep feeding him right now until he cools down or until the defense does something to take him away from these great opportunities. No reason to go away from him.
Small forward. Both good from the line that time. Aside from one recent year, we've seen plenty of coaching changes. When teams come up short, do you think that position maybe gets too much blame?
Probably, and coaches know that's exactly what they're in store for once they sign a contract
and
to coach
that
a team.
Kind of money.
Yeah, all of a sudden they know that what happens on the floor, the end result is going to be whether or not I coach this team the next year and the year after and the year after. Interesting cycle of things that happens, though, Kevin, is when changes are made in a front office around the league, sometimes the managers want to put in a coach where they feel either a little bit more comfortable with or a style of basketball that they're more comfortable with. And sometimes the success on the floor for the coach has no bearing on whether or not he's going to keep his job,
right,
because management would like to see a different product out there. So they become a victim sometimes of upper management movement and sometimes are removed from being the head coach.
Good thoughts. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hi, guys. Mr. Fundamentals in their last game against the Jazz was all business. He scored 17 points, and he got those points as he always does, knocking down shots from beyond the arc. That outing from him helped assure the win and enabled his team continuing its win streak. It will be interesting to see if the momentum carries on here tonight, Kevin.
And we thank you, David. He set a great example for him in that game. He was their anchor.
And because of how good he was, he'll be the guy they lean on tonight if they're in any tough spots here.
You always appreciate guys who take that kind of role on for their basketball team. He wants to be the guy that they can count on in those big situations.
The shot misses, and it's the Cavaliers taking it the other way.
His touch has just been a little bit absent this quarter, and he's missing a ton of shots.
And it's Rajon Rondo with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. The Lakers have been exceptional shooting free throws tonight, going 9 for 9.
They're doing a better job of working themselves to the line here in the second half.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Hood deciding where to go with it. Fires from deep. No good there.
You combine his massive size and then his desire to pound the glass, it makes him a tough cover on the board.
And so it's Los Angeles with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard, putting the pass right on the money.
So helpful to the offensive versatility when your bigs can create, freeing everybody up, and that cut was wide open.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we start the 4th quarter in what is still anybody's ball game. Inside, we've got Kuzma and McGee. Rajon Rondo is out there with Mr. Fundamentals, and it's Ingram in the small forward position. That's who's in the game for the Lakers.
You know, we've seen this with Sexton in college, and he can get into a zone and just take over a game offensively.
Mr. Fundamentals passes to Rondo. Pass to Mr. Fundamentals. Shoots over Clarkson. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Now, here's Sexton. Guarded closer. And now the fast break. Rondo with the ball. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Rondo. The league's long-distance bombers are setting their sights on the three-point contest this season. Here are some of the early favorites to make up the field.
And I love the way the voting is shaping up, Kevin. We'll have an excellent contest if these are the shooters who are firing away on All-Star Weekend.
You look at Mr. Fundamentals, and at number 4 on the list, he's almost certain to take part in the contest this year. He's going to be excited to let those long-range shots fly in All-Star Weekend.
And the fans have been right to give him so much love. He's deadly from beyond, and he has to be in this contest this season.
And it's going to be an exciting showcase this year. Some incredible shooters, that's for certain. We'll keep you updated as we find out more.
Yeah, and I think we're in for a real treat. I think the increased importance of the three-point shot in today's game has really shined a light on the talent, precision, and really the wow factor of how these guys can drill the long ball.
Well, he's building off that strong first half he had. I'm not sure the defense will be able to figure him out in the second.
Now, here's Sexton. He's guarded closely. Great open look there.
And that's from beyond, guys. Right back at you.
Yeah, that's a nice response there, leaving a voicemail in return from the three-point line. Looks like we're seeing similar game plans right now.
And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Clearly a foul.
And the first one at the line is good. James checked in for Brandon Ingram. And Cleveland also making a change. Love's checked in. And here's Clarkson. He brings it up for the Cavaliers. They trail by 3. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Here's Osman, guarded by Kuzma. 4 on the clock. Here's Love, and Love throws it down.
That's why Kevin Love with the ball right now is not a bad option.
Mr. Fundamentals passes to LeBron. And the slam dunk by McGee.
And how about the incredible timing on that alley-oop?
He absolutely hammered it down. And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Havoc. Osman kicks to Sexton. Back to Osman. Over LeBron. And Cleveland again with the bucket.
And as much offense as we saw earlier, I mean, we're seeing even more of it here now late in the game.
What is this, February? Feels like an all-star game is broken out. Neither side willing or able to stop the other.
Here's Mr. Fundamentals. Out of bounds, Cleveland takes possession.
That could be costly. When the game is hanging in the balance, the last thing you can afford is to turn it over.
Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for the Cavaliers. Love against Kuzma. Love kicks to Clarkson to take the lead. And too long on the shot.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Good job on the glass there, working hard to establish position and put himself in a great spot to come away with that rebound.
Sexton dishes to Love. Away. The Cavaliers again can't hit. Lakers have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. And so it's Cleveland with it. They've allowed just 7 points here in the fourth quarter. Pass to Sexton. Inside, Clarkson. We've got 33 seconds left in the fourth quarter. James, that's a 2-pointer. And again, no good by the Lakers.
Wow, huge sigh of relief for the defense on that possession. You cannot give mid-range shooters any space like that to operate.
Trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but thus far, not working.
Yeah, I hope it hasn't gone to his head. He may be trying too hard at this point.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Yeah, you can't let him hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss.
Yeah, when Rondo gets motivated, and we've seen that now for a good stretch, he's as valuable as it gets.
Here's Osman. It falls!
Where was the D on that one? Just too easy.
Timeout called the Lakers. They're trailing by 1. 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Guys, what do you think?
And really no need to rush. Still plenty of time to get a good look.
Challenge is to get that good look, preferably the guy with the hottest hand.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Colin Sexton.
And the way he's made his mark with his work inside, he's just been a slasher tonight. Always moving, getting to the basket at will, and just seemingly taking advantage of a D that was reluctant to get in his way.
So it's a narrow win for the Cavaliers pulling it out. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic...
You gotta set bigger screens. We gotta switch on defense.
Who was coach calling out there?
We good. Stick together, y'all. Got no calls.
The neighborhood.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here. Shaq's here. Kenny's here. Welcome to this edition of 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Chicago Bulls up against the Lakers in Los Angeles. And for Los Angeles, on their home court against
Welcome, everyone, to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. From the sideline, our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. Looking at Chicago, they want to turn it around after that loss to the Jazz.
No other way to put it. The defense was awful, completely uninspired at that end of the floor.
And you know, Greg, defense is a mindset, and they did not have that mentality that game. And the turnovers were a problem as well.
It'll be Los Angeles off the tip. And at this point of the season, Clark, we can see which teams have the better depth, the better bench. If you would talk about the importance of having a strong bench over the long haul.
For contending teams, I think it's a difference maker. because it allows you to work through the length of the season in a more measured way, which gives your key players rest. You spread out the minutes over more players, so that tends to lend itself to freshness as you get ready for the playoffs. I don't know if you can overstate the value of a quality bench when you're a team that's expected to make a deep run in the playoffs.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. So the Bulls 5 right now, and down low it's Markkanen and Carter. Chris Dunn is out there with Selden, and it's Hutchinson in at the 3.
And the quick trigger of Markkanen is impressive. He's got such a fluid release, too, especially on these catch-and-shoot jumpers.
James, the pass to Mr. Fundamentals. He kicks to McGee. Passes it to James. It's hauled in by Dunn.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And there it is for him.
Talk about a great start. 3 of 3 from the field to get the game going. They're cooking with gas, folks.
Outside Rondo. James outside. Inside. The shot's good from Mr. Fundamentals. Mr. Fundamentals got 5 points so far.
How about 3 of 4 from the floor to start? That's always a good sign.
Pass to Hutchison. To Selden, covered by LeBron. Kuzma against Markkanen. Floats one. There's JaVale McGee with the rebound.
Boy, that's a devastating miss there. You got to convert on these easy layups deep inside.
Here's Mr. Fundamentals. No good on the 3. The Bulls have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game.
And Lauri Markkanen, a 7-footer who can really let it fly. At Arizona, the most 3-pointers ever by a 7-footer in a single season.
Mr. Fundamentals, he trains the quick shot. He has 7. Chicago trailing here. Selden kicks to Markkanen. Back to Selden. Rebounded by McGee.
Great look, but he couldn't finish everything but, is how we say that. Surprising since the defense was very pedestrian.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Carter, the pass to Dunn. That's in there. Carter with the assist. Dunn's got his first points of the night.
Tell you what, guys, there's no way you're stopping Dunn when he's that close to the hoop.
LeBron kicks to Kuzma. And good that time.
Boy, you got to love that assist by LeBron.
Here's Dunn. 20 points for him last game against Utah.
And even while he was piling up all those points, he still found a way to create chances for his teammates. The assists just kept on coming.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. And this matchup with the Lakers, it's their first meeting of the season.
And in their 2 matchups last season, they came up empty both times. Not really too shocking when you see how they fared overall.
Exactly. I mean, when you lose as much as they did last year, you'll get beat by teams that aren't playoff powers for sure.
Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Zubac is checked in for JaVale McGee. Beasley comes in for Kyle Kuzma. Brandon Ingram, he's checked in for James. And it's Lonzo Ball in for Rajon Rondo. Ingram outside. There's 57 seconds left to play in the first quarter. 6 to shoot. Lets it go with a 3. And Ball gets it to go on the assist from Ingram. Ball's got his first 3 points of the game. They play the clock right, then go 2 for 1.
Just got to time it up right.
Now here's Valentine. He's covered by Ingram. And here is Valentine. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Ingram passes to Mr. Fundamentals. Kicks to Beasley. Here's Mr. Fundamentals, and again it's the Lakers from deep.
Against length, he does a nice job of creating just enough separation.
Yeah, he's so creative with the ball and his ability to shake free from bigger guys to knock down those triples. Boy, that's a thing of beauty there.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. Chicago shooting their first foul shots of the night here. The first one falls. Here's Dunn, and you can see his scoring totals. Those are some pretty good numbers. He's putting up close to 15 points a game on average. Got that bucket in no time at all.
Well, one thing you like there is the extra pass. Evidence that the game is starting to slow down for Dunn.
And Clark, a lot of great names to choose from, but who would you pick for your greatest Laker ever?
Wow, that's always tough when you have such a robust list, Kevin. I always start with Kareem whenever he's in the conversation because that guy was my idol as I grew up watching the game. So Kareem is there, Magic, Wilt, Shaq, Elgin, and Jerry West, and Kobe. That's too many, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Some great names there, though, Clark. You're right. Hard to pick just one. The 4 and 5 are the athletic duo of LeBron and McGee. Mr. Fundamentals is out there with Rajon Rondo, and it's Hart in at the 3, the small forward. That's who's in the game for the Lakers. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hi, guys. Mr. Fundamentals in their last game against the Cavaliers was phenomenal. He scored 18 points and got there the usual way. An impressive barrage of three-pointers. A superb showing, some of his best all-around play this season. And you know he'd like to keep it going tonight, Kevin.
Hey, David, thank you very much. What kind of carryover guys you think we'll see for him tonight?
Well, we know his confidence level has to be high coming into this game. Physically, he might be a little worn down, but mentally, he's got to be feeling very good.
And, you know, given his last game, guys, you have to believe he'll be the go-to guy for them again tonight. I mean, he'll have every opportunity to keep that hot streak going.
Here's Dunn, following the basket by LeBron James. Offensive rebound. Hutchison's shot is off.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter. I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Dunn against Rondo. Pass to Hutchison. That's in, coming off an assist from Dunn. Dunn's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. Lakers lead by 5.
Well, the first half for you, offensively, you were very efficient. What has been the key to get that done?
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. You look at Mr. Fundamentals in this game, he's been everywhere.
Well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them and really few forced shots here so far.
And, you know, Greg, I like how they've set the pace. There's a lot of time left in this one, so there's no rush. You don't have to go 70 miles an hour. Keep it at about 45.
Taking a look at the Bulls, and down low, it's Markkanen and Carter. Chris Dunn is out there with Selden, and it's Hutchinson in at the small forward position. Mark, we know you were a great athlete. Would you have enjoyed playing at the pace we're seeing in today's NBA style?
I hope I could have played in today's game. Again, I was not an uber athletic guy. Athletic enough to get things done on the court, was a skilled basketball player more than a great athlete. So the athleticism of today might have challenged me a bit, but I still think I could have played and been effective in today's game.
I agree. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And that one's good. Selden. Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. The pass to Mr. Fundamentals. Kuzma kicks to Rondo. And Kuzma slams it in.
Active hands and really good energy pursuing the pumpkin there. Great hustle by Kuzma.
Bulls trail by 6. Dunn passes to Selden. That's in, coming off an assist from Dunn. Dunn's got 9 assists now tonight. Timeout called the Lakers. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played. Puts it up. And again, the Lakers no good.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
And Greg, we've seen it time and time again in games. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses.
Shot clock at 5. Poked away. Here's Dunn. Misses off the right iron.
Seems like he's in a hurry. He's kind of rushing his shot. Clearly out of rhythm right now. That's a big reason why they're losing.
And down it goes. Three-pointer falls in from Mr. Fundamental.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Dunn looking over the floor. Here's Markkanen. Great D that time from James.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
And so it's Los Angeles holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. We've got more. Luke Walton had some advice for his team. Let's hear what he had to say.
Hey, great job on defense of communicating.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. And here is Los Angeles now. They lead by 8. That's the biggest of the game. It's off to Oklahoma City for them after this game, so they have the Thunder to look forward to. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip. The 4 and 5 are the athletic duo of LeBron and McGee. Mr. Fundamentals is out there with Rajon Rondo, and it's Hart in at the 3 spot. That's the Laker 5. Dunn kicks to Selden. From outside, off the mark. Los Angeles leading by 10. Here's Hart. Carter with the block. Valentine with it to the paint. Here's Selden. It balls through, making him 6 for 11 in the game.
Well, he's having a great half here. Exactly the opposite of the first.
And here's James. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Lakers. Pass to Hart. We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. Rondo passes to Mr. Fundamentals. No good with the triple. Bulls trail by 8. To the middle. Here's Carter. Rebounded by Hart. Lakers have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Rondo wide open. Los Angeles with another miss. Chicago's gotten fewer than half of their 3-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg.
Well, I like the way he capped off that drive. The one-hand hole punch.
Timeout called the Lakers.
Chris Dunn taken 5th overall back in 2016. Didn't break through in his rookie season with the Wolves. He's getting more opportunity here in Chicago.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Kuzma's checked in. Shots good from Mr. Fundamental.
Once again, he's able to knock down the long-range jumper. He's on automatic. Just a brilliant game.
Dunn against Rondo. Dunn outside. Passed to Selden. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. And Greg, you look at Dunn, it can take longer for point guards to develop in the NBA.
A great point. It's the most cerebral position in our game. Learning how to run an NBA offense is a challenge. Good news, though, is he's putting in the work necessary to figure it out and progressing nicely. And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Time-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, it's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yep, he was on the money, that's no doubt. Count it, and the Laker lead has been cut to just 9 points on the basket from Markkanen. Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Here's Mr. Fundamentals, Carter with the block. Here's Hutchison over LeBron, and no good, trying to use the glass. To the right side, the three. Back to Rondo. Good, and the assist goes to James. LeBron's got his 8th assist in the game.
If he's one thing, he's efficient in the paint. Rondo really good with the positioning there close to the basket.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. When it comes to initiating this play, Clark, for your money, who are the perimeter pick-and-roll ball handlers right now in the game?
Well, the guys that come to mind for me, Chris Paul is fantastic in the pick-and-roll. Damian Lillard is outstanding. James Harden. And I think Victor Oladipo is getting better. I mean, he's so good at finding seams and using his athleticism to get to the bucket, and he's really grown as a finisher. Kyrie Irving is just a terrific one-on-one player. Sometimes he doesn't even need the screen guy. He's so good with the ball. And obviously Steph Curry is in that category too.
James kicks to McGee. Lakers working the ball around now. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. And again, it's the Lakers from deep.
And when you're down this many points, hard to justify leaving a good shooter that wide open.
Well, you know what, Greg? To me, it looks like they packed it in and just kind of given up.
Outside Portis. Fires it up, finds the open look, and it's on target.
If you give him an inch of space, he's going to make you pay.
Lakers leading by 10. It's stolen by Carter. Selden kicks to Dunn. Back to Selden. Kept alive. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by McGee. .58 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Portis. And finally they hit one.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
The pass to James. The shot's good from McGee.
And how much longer are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator?
As long as required, Greg. I mean, you can tell they want to put this thing to bed.
Portis, the pass to Dunn, knocks it loose. Rondo with the steal. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play. And so the Lakers take the win. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, but I really got a sense that the fans gave them that emotional boost that was needed down the stretch. This
for at least 24 hours, you know what I'm saying? Whew.
AI, can you talk a little about how your time in China shaped your game?
Well, it definitely made me learn to appreciate what I got. When you're in a foreign country and you don't speak the native language, it makes it hard to, fit in. And once I got that second chance to try to make it in the NBA, I just worked that much harder not to let it go.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here. Shaq's here. Kenny.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Good luck out there.
The NBA is now taking deposits for season tickets next season. Stop by the Venice System Stable in East Concord to see how you can become an NBA
Oklahoma City, land of the Thunder in a fine Western Conference. And we've got time.
Well, guys, Paul George is...
Well, you love that versatility, DA. Thank you. Now we're right around the halfway point of the season, Doris. This is often when we see the better teams really begin to shift gears and surge ahead.
Yeah, we certainly have a better feel for who the contenders might be. We still have a long way to go, obviously, and teams will have some lulls and then some high points, and you've got to be able to weather all of those things. But the reality is we have a greater understanding of who has the necessary offensive and defensive components to compete at a championship level.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Taking a look at Los Angeles. LeBron and Kuzma make up the forwards. Lonzo Ball out there with Mr. Fundamentals, and it's McGee in at the center position. Back to LeBron. Here's Mr. Fundamentals, sinks the triple. Mr. Fundamentals got the first 3 points tonight for Los Angeles.
First points of the night, and here we go.
Well, great start to this one, setting the tone right away with that bucket.
And Patterson kicks to Robertson. Six on the shot clock. Outside, George. Over LeBron. Tries to save it. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession. And our third month into the season, things becoming a little more clear in the power rankings. Taking a look at Oakland.
Incredible strides and maintaining their momentum.
Mr. Fundamentals passes to LeBron. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. Mr. Fundamentals got 5 points so far.
So why does LeBron James have the ball in his hands? Because look at that sixth sense. Wow, what a pass.
Robertson kicks to Westbrook. Over ball. And the shot is long.
Well, can't find the target, but good work to get into open space inside the arc.
And what a draft day steal for the Lakers, who were able to get Kyle Kuzma, who had been drafted 27th overall.
Yeah, Kuzma came into the league far more polished than anyone expected, and you have to credit the young man's hard work. and how he was able to make such a big splash that rookie year. And with how hard he works, Kuzma is going to be an impactful player in this league for a long time.
And here's Westbrook from the arc. A rebound by the Lakers. Last time they met was in Los Angeles.
A huge margin of victory for them when these two teams squared off last, and they got scoring from up and down their lineup.
Yeah, I think when your bench puts up that kind of productivity, it makes your offense so much more difficult to defend. It's a key element in their last win.
Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. In the corner, it's Patterson. No good, unable to end this run. Fires from the wing. And again, it's the Lakers.
And you know what? They've been on a nice run here, had the ability to widen the gap. Now they are rolling.
This is a dominant stretch. I am so impressed with how they've played together as a unit over this last stretch.
And first time out of the game called for Oklahoma City. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
Yeah, their last outing was a rough one. Have to be careful of falling in love with that three.
Right, exactly.
Here's Robertson. He's still scoreless so far in this one. He kicks it to Patterson. And it's good off the back rim and in.
And with that one, it ends an 11-0 run by the Lakers.
Patterson is the 4 with Adams in the middle. Robertson and George fill out the wings. And it's Schroeder in at the point guard position. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Hi, guys. Mr. Fundamentals in their last game against the Bulls was tremendous. He ended up with 25 points, and he got those points as he always does, knocking down shots from beyond the arc. He absolutely stole the show. It felt like he was everywhere all the time. It'll be interesting to see how he follows it up, Kevin.
Thanks, David. It was a performance that not many players are capable of.
I know I won't forget it for a while, and you have to think he'll keep it rolling here tonight. When you're that hot, it takes a while to cool down.
I think that's the kind of game that carries over, and he'll have every chance to do it because I've got to believe he's their #1 option.
Pass to George. Shot is good, and the Los Angeles leads cut down now to just 12 points with the basket from Adams.
Well, simply stated, Steven Adams is a force to be reckoned with rebounding the basketball.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Lets it go from 14. It doesn't go for him. So the Lakers will take it the other way. Their next game is at the Rockets Arena in Houston for a game with the Rockets. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. LeBron passes to Mr. Fundamentals. Fires the 3. It's hauled in by George. Thunder trailing by 12. The Oklahoma City Thunder with one of the more rabid fan bases, Doris, in the NBA.
Well, 7 straight seasons of sellouts. There's something about the love affair you find in these small market one-sport towns. This is an organization that has the complete and full support of their community.
And so it's Schroeder with the ball. He'll bring it up for Oklahoma City. Here's Robertson. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. Robertson's got his first points of the game. Lakers leading by 7. And there's the pass to Mr. Fundamentals. 1:09 left in the second quarter. Here's LeBron. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over.
You love the focus from LeBron James. He's near the rim, so he's got to use his size and his skill to full advantage.
Outside, George. Robertson kicks it over to Schroeder. In the corner, it's Patterson. The shot's good on the assist by George. Patterson's got 5.
What a difference in the second quarter. His shooting, much more confidence, much more accuracy.
No good for Mr. Fundamentals.
Yeah, and that three-point shot, it really has looked awful here in the second quarter. It hasn't stopped him from attempting them, but it's time to maybe find something else to do. A tough start scoring the basketball, but they're starting to turn it around now.
James, the bounce pass. 17 seconds left to play in the first half. George against Ball. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. Beyond the arc. And it's out of bounds. The Lakers able to retain possession here. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. Here's McGee. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And that's... And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. Mr. Fundamentals really making a difference here.
And, you know, not always the guy that you would expect to be making the big plays, but so far tonight, he has delivered.
Taking a look at Los Angeles. Inside, we've got Kuzma and McGee. Mr. Fundamentals is out there with Lonzo Ball. And it's James in at the three slot. Out of offenses, Doris, initiate that high pick-and-roll offense, which is so fun to watch. Which ball handlers do you want running that play for you if you were on the sideline?
Come on now, there are some master manipulators in the pick and roll. Let's begin with the great James Harden. We'll begin with his teammate Chris Paul. Steph Curry. You give Steph Curry options to read in a pick and roll, he's going to make the right choice. There are a lot of guys who can manipulate the defense at a pick and roll, but those three are at the top of my list.
Unable to close out defensively, even against the smaller shooter.
Well, credit the shooter. It's just great work carving just enough space to get that three off in time.
Patterson finds Robertson. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Down low, Kuzma passes to LeBron. Now, here's Ball. Lakers working the ball around now. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. Misses the three, and he used the pump fake well there, but he couldn't capitalize. High, arcing shot. That one drops for him. And it's 9 points for George.
And that's how you want to come out of the locker room. He is fired up.
Absolutely perfect start to the half, setting the tempo right away with an easy opportunity at the cup.
McGee in the high post. Back to Ball. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. 6 to shoot. On the wing, James. Over George. And it's off the back rim. No good.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Boy, the defense gets into his head and alters his release when he really doesn't have to.
Robertson dishes to George. Back to Robertson. McGee with the block. And here we go. Fast break. Kuzma's got it. Excellent D there from George. Under trailing by 5.
I don't think any of us can forget that broken leg Paul George suffered playing for the United States national team in 2014. But what a joy, guys, to see him back and playing at an elite level.
Really in a good position thanks to the accuracy from beyond.
And here's Westbrook. He'll bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. And Doris, you go back to the injury for Paul George. Some moments where you question whether he'd be the same player. Do you think, in your opinion, that factored into his decision to leave Indiana in search of a more competitive situation? 60 seconds off the clock here in the fourth. Pass to Adams. Westbrook against Ball. And George kicks to Westbrook. 6 to shoot. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
You know, he clearly made adjustments at halftime. Smooth offense right now.
Well, you think back to a time when people wondered if Westbrook was too aggressive playing with KD. They said Russ was taking too many shots. No questions anymore. Westbrook is the man in OKC.
Robertson and George fill out the wings. Patterson is the 4 with Adams in the middle. And it's Westbrook in at the 1 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Robertson finds Adams. George, that's a 2-pointer. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. McGee's got 5 rebounds tonight. And for Westbrook, winning the MVP and averaging a triple-double for an entire season. Greg, how much does he have left to prove?
Well, it's all about winning. We know Russ can take over a game. We know he can make his teammates better. How much better and how far they get in the playoffs, that's the real question.
Outside, George. That's tipped. We're in the 4th quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. The shot's good from Mr. Fundamentals.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Under trailing by 15. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Now Patterson. And George kicks to Patterson. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Lakers have gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the 4th quarter. 17-foot shot on the way. No good for Mr. Fundamentals. Oklahoma City's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. George with the bucket.
Well, the 3 ball has become one of the...
James outside. McGee up top. Adams defending. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Doris, statistically, today's game is picked apart by so many different ways. But for you, what are the statistical areas that you are most interested in?
Well, I think one of the things that can be undervalued, particularly from the defensive side of the ball, are things like deflections or charges taken or even shots contested. And I say those things, Kevin, because deflections force an offense to restart. Charges taken gets a possession for your team. And shots contested affects, obviously, the field goal percentage of the team you're guarding. So it's all of those little defensive stats that you really have to track and be monitoring to understand the value that they have on winning.
Very interesting. Mr. Fundamentals passes to Kuzma. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. Yes, it's James picking up the assist. James has got his 4th assist in this one. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. They're behind by 12. 1:11 left in the 4th quarter. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Mr. Fundamentals.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
Westbrook kicks to Patterson. Robertson the pass to Westbrook. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. George with the bucket.
Oh, Kevin, that's not an easy play. Paul George is an extraordinary player. Keeps his eye on the bucket at all times.
And it looks like just playing the last bit of this one out in what should be a nice win here for the Lakers.
A few times this season, turnovers have cost them, but they really kept the ball under control.
They were both focused and relentless.
And so taking a look at their record, a nice milestone they'll be picking up tonight. 30 wins on the year now.
And in a 3-game season series, they take the first 2, and certainly they've had the edge in this matchup.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Mr. Fundamentals.
He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Back to Kuzma, and Kuzma slams it in.
I'll tell you, when you're the visiting team, it can be hard to maintain focus, but not tonight.
No, I think that they've been locked in during this game. They didn't let the opposing crowd get to them at all. This has been pure domination.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And that about wraps it up for Greg Anthony.
Does anyone else think that there was some goaltending happening in the second half that they didn't call? Because, I don't know, I'm just saying, like, it's debatable.
AI, you're in high demand, my
What's up,
friend.
Charlie?
Shaq and Kenny want to chat?
The 2K Sports postgame show.
And welcome back to the studio.
Hey, this is Shaq. Hurrah! You've been beasting these last few games, and it's fun to watch. Anything you feel you've done differently to make this impact?
Oh, man, you know, Shaq, sometimes adrenaline takes over, and I just decide it's time to go out there and put on a show. You know, I'm a man of the people, and the people won't win, so that's what I'm going to give them.
You're not a man, you're an animal. Hurrah!
And thanks for joining us this evening, folks. We've reached the end of our broadcast, sadly. For Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith, this is Ernie Johnson. Farewell.
Here you go.
Hey, I got a check for you.
Great. Thanks.